From November 1st to 9th, the Rady Jewish Community Centre will host its second annual JFest, a vibrant celebration of Jewish art, culture, and community. This one-of-a-kind festival invites audiences to experience the richness of Jewish life through music, film, visual art, and family-friendly programs. Exploring the depth and diversity of the Jewish diaspora from Ashkenazi to Sephardic to Mizrahi and Israeli traditions, JFest offers something for everyone, regardless of faith or background. With a focus on modern Jewish culture, this year's festival shines a light on the contemporary voices shaping today's creative landscape, from internationally acclaimed Israeli performers and filmmakers to bold new works in visual and performing arts. It's a lively, inclusive celebration of the vibrancy and vastness of the Jewish arts and culture today. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio to talk about the 2025 edition of JFest, I am joined once again by my friend, Carla Burbeyer, who is the musical producer for JFest. Hey, Carla, great to have you here.
Great to be here, Chris.
So this is the second year that the Rady Centre has been holding a JFest. Last year was the inaugural year. How did it go last year? It must have been a big success if you're doing it again.
It was a huge success, and we had a number of sold-out shows and demand for more of the same and more different as well. So we listened to all of our patrons and tried to put together a program format that would really draw in people, as you mentioned in your preamble, that we're aiming to get people of all backgrounds and all ages and all beliefs. So hopefully this will reach out to those folks.
So you're the music producer for JFest, but there's also a film element and art, and there's the Yellow Dudes Kids Fest that's happening. Can you talk about the team that planned JFest, and how long does it typically take to plan the festival?
Well, that's a really good question. Well, we are a very cohesive team. We all like each other a lot. And we do each have our own areas of focus, but as a team, we do support and assist each other. If I have performers coming in from the airport and I'm having a hard time getting one of my performers because another performer is occupying my time, one of the team will say, hey, I'll go out to the airport and pick that person up. Or just, sitting in a room and bouncing ideas off of each other to see how we can help and shape the festival in a cohesive way.
Fantastic. Okay, I want to turn to the music for the festival. And opening on the festival on November 1st at 8 p.m. at the Seven Oaks Performing Arts Center, you have Karen Pellis, all the way from Israel, performing. This is quite a coup for you. She is a big deal there. She's sold out shows. She's got albums. For those who don't know about her, can you talk about her a bit?
Sure. Karen Pellis is, as you mentioned, a big deal. She's an Israeli superstar. She may not be known in Canada to Canadians, but any Israeli that I speak with knows the name Karen Pellis. She has written most of the most famous songs that are on radio and television in Israel. And in this past year, 2025, she became quite known for a song that she wrote called New Day Will Rise, which was really based on the horrible things that happened on October 7th, 2023 in Israel, and giving hope to people who were begging that the hostages would be returned to Israel. And this song took second place at Eurovision, and she chose to have it sung by a woman who was a survivor of the events on October 7th, 2023. So it was a very impactful song, and a lot of people who don't even know that Karen Pellis wrote the song say to me, oh, of course, I know New Day Will Rise. I used to sing it all the time. It made me feel so inspired and hopeful. So Karen also became synonymous with writing music that gave people hope throughout these past 2 years and would come to Hostage Square in Tel Aviv and sing her music. So a lot of people identify her with that and feel inspired by her lyrics, which are uplifting and contagious.
Mm-hmm. I was listening to her on YouTube. She's amazing. I hear a little bit of Tori Amos, maybe a little bit of Natalie Merchant. I know she's also very much influenced by Naomi Shemer. When you hear her music, what does it remind you of, and what could you compare her to?
I think those are really good comparisons, Chris. Yes, I think that, she's a pop star.
Mm-hmm.
Her music is contagious. I think it is danceable. I think it is high energy, and I don't think that you have to understand all the lyrics. She sings in Hebrew, but I think that anybody can be impacted by the melodies.
Yeah.
So if you do understand the Hebrew, the lyrics are extremely meaningful, but if you don't, you can still appreciate the joyousness of the music.
Yeah, and as I was saying, I was listening to it on YouTube, and the melodies are super catchy, and the harmonies as well. Yeah, she's fantastic.
Well, she's a pianist as well as a songwriter and, a singer. So she has other people who sing her music, but it's really incredible to have her sing her music herself.
Yeah. And quite a thing to have her here in Winnipeg.
Yes, quite a thing to bring her all the way from Israel to Winnipeg for this one show. And she's coming with 2 other musicians and a show manager. And we have chosen the Seven Oaks Performing Arts Centre, as you mentioned, because the Bernie Theatre we did not feel was big enough for the audience that we could draw and that we want to draw for this particular show. So we are reaching out to a different venue for the first time and opening JFest with our first show being at Seven Oaks Performing Arts Centre.
So that's Karen Pellis on November the 1st at 8 p.m. at the Seven Oaks Arts Centre. Then on Tuesday, November the 4th at 7:30 at the Bernie at the Rady Centre, you've got Hadar Maos. She is a true melting pot of an individual. She's Israeli, but her background is Persian and Bukharian. She grew up in a family of musicians. She plays this Persian lute-like instrument called the tar. She's incredible. How did you discover her?
Okay, that's a really great question. I happen to love world music. I think that's probably one of my favorite areas of music, and I've been interested in world music for years. So anybody new coming out of Israel who is focused on world music, I tend to listen to their music and be intrigued by it. And Hadar is a newer young musician, and as you say, her music is quite wonderful. She is Israeli. She's based herself in Germany for the last little while, but she's Israeli. And she sings in Hebrew, she sings in Farsi, she sings because of her Bukharian background, as you mentioned, and her parents. She grew up listening to this music and being surrounded by it, and then taking it on a more modern twist. So she adds percussion, she adds different kinds of instruments, and she is a multi-instrumentalist, Chris. She plays all these instruments herself. She's really a one-woman show. She is coming with a violinist from Germany with whom she frequently performs in Germany. And her, she does fun things with these psalms that she sings, and, she moonwalks with one of the psalms that she's singing. And so she's very high energy on stage. She involves the audience in her shows, and she tries to get them to sing along with her. So again, you don't need to know the language. Hadar makes it all very easy to communicate.
Yeah, and super fun. Her videos are great. So I mean, a lot of her music has sort of a pop, dance, drum beat. How is she coming with that as well? Do you know her?
Yes, I do know, because I've had to rent some instruments for her.
Yeah.
I'm renting a darbuka. She is coming with some of her own instruments, and I'm providing some instruments. She'll be playing the guitar. She'll be playing the darbuka. She has a variety of percussion instruments that she travels with, smaller ones, and her violinist, of course.
Yeah.
So she kind of bases it all around the type of show that she's going to present as to which instrument she wants to use. And when she and I had our first discussion, it was a debate, which musician she chooses to bring with her. And she chose this violinist who she said is an amazing violinist. So she's going in that direction with this particular concert in Winnipeg, to have the violin contributing to all the instruments that she herself plays and sings.
Amazing. So that's Hadar Mills on Tuesday, November the 4th at 7:30 at the Rady Centre. Then on Thursday, November the 6th at 7:30, again at the Bernie Theatre, you've got the Flatland Famous Band from right here in Winnipeg in a show called Jewish Soul of Rock and Roll. The band is made up of a killer lineup of musicians. Can you talk about that show? They're paying tribute to Jewish rock legends, right?
Well, yes. Actually, Chris, I came up with this concept that I wanted to do a show that would pay tribute to all the Jewish musicians who helped shape the whole rock and roll era. And so I was on a search in Winnipeg as to who could tackle this project. And I spoke to a number of different musicians, and Lisa Windsor's name kept on coming up, who's the lead singer of the Flatland Famous Band, which, by the way, is the house band at the Jets games.
Right. Yeah.
So people may not know the name Flatland Famous, but if you're a Jets fan and you go to the games and you hear some music in the background, it's the Flatland Famous Band, who is the house band at the Jets games. So I spoke to Lisa about wanting to do a specific show like this, and because their group is phenomenal at playing rock and roll, and I know that they are phenomenal at playing rock and roll, it was just giving this different angle to do the Jewish soul of rock and roll, as we're titling it, to highlight some of the musicians like Geddy Lee, David Lee Roth, Gene Simmons, Joey Ramone, who were Jewish and were huge musicians who contributed to the whole creation of the rock and roll era. And she's also pulling out different musicians like Carole King and Bob Dylan. And I said to her, Carole King rock and roll? And she said, 100% Carole King rock and roll. So there's going to be a whole variety of musicians in there, just playing the through line of how these musicians contributed so greatly to the rock and roll era.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a rockin' show. You got Rush, the Ramones, and Van Halen. I mean,
yes.
Is that what it must have been what you were going for?
It is exactly what I was going through. I had a list of, these are the groups that I want to focus on, who are the musicians in Winnipeg who can tackle this, and I feel really great about the marriage of Flatland Famous Band with this particular show, and they're really excited about it. I just had a chat with Lisa the other day, and she ran through all the different musicians she's working on, and it's just going to be a fun show. I don't think there is any song in there that people will not want to sing along to.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, this has been really terrific having you back. I'll ask the same question to wrap up the interview that I did last year. What do you hope JFest will accomplish, and what do you hope people will take away from the festival?
Well, I hope that people will take away from the festival that this music is accessible and not just for Jewish people, and that the Rady JCC is accessible to everybody and not just to Jewish people, and that people can come and appreciate all the different aspects of JFest. I haven't spoken to the films and the children's programs, etc., but that there is so much to offer, and that just coming in the door opens up a whole new world of culture. And we're just so hopeful that people will take that big step and come in the door and try out some of these wonderful programs that we have on offer.
Absolutely. Carla, as always, this has been really fun having you here in the studio. I plan on taking in some of JFest myself. All the best. I hope this year is another big success. Thanks so much for making the time on this rainy Monday afternoon to stop by our Classic 107 studio and talk to me today.
Thank you, Chris.
For our Classic 107 listeners, the Rady JCC's JFest takes place from November 1st to November 9th. For more details, visit radyjcc.com or go to classic107.com. I've embedded a direct link to the JFest brochure in the article about it that you can find up there now. Carla, thanks again.
Thank you.